part of the CEO search process, many of whom are likely in the room, by serving on interview panels, participating in community meetings, and providing feedback in numerous ways. Your contribution to the CEO search process played a part in the board's selection of our next CEO. We are especially grateful to Sherry Obrinsky, president of the Cleveland Teachers Union, who's not able to be here today, also to Tracy Raddick with the Teachers Union, and Kevin Payton, president of the CMSD Principals Association, for their important contributions since we last launched the CEO search process several months ago. While there are dozens of people I would like to recognize by name, I know you all are far more anxious to simply know the results of this hard work. And so, as chair of the Cleveland Board of Education, I am both pleased and privileged to announce that the board and the mayor have agreed to appoint Dr. Warren G. Morgan as the next CEO of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Dr. Morgan began his career as an educator and school administrator in Chicago and has since worked for both Presidents Obama and Trump in the prestigious role of White House Fellow. For many of us in Cleveland, one of the most notable aspects of Dr. Morgan's impressive resume was his service as a network leader in Cleveland, where he supervised educators in the city's investment schools. We are thrilled that Dr. Morgan will rejoin the district after serving most recently as the Chief Academic Officer in Indianapolis Public Schools. There, he oversaw the academic vision of the district and played a major role in improving student performance and school culture. It was clear from the community feedback we gathered that our stakeholders believed strongly that Dr. Morgan would bring that experience back to Cleveland to build on the gains we have made here over the last decade. One interview panelist called Dr. Morgan a passionate and responsive leader, and said they believed he would lead with honesty and vulnerability. Another admired Dr. Morgan's promise to listen, learn, and then lead. And while I could share many more reasons why Dr. Morgan was the board's choice for CEO, I will now happily sit down and let you hear from some of the strongest voices among them, starting with the mayor of the city of Cleveland, Justin Bibb.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Today is a historic and amazing day in our great city. And first, I want to just acknowledge the leadership of the CMSD board. This is a tireless job, and this board put in a lot of amazing work to get to this process. Let's give them a round of applause if we can. I also want to thank the students, the teachers, the principals, the caregivers, folks who work in our schools all across the city who participated in this process. Over 5,000 people had input on who the next CEO of CMSD was going to be. To me, that's the kind of process we wanted to lead to make sure that the next CEO was picked in the lived experiences of the folks who need us to have a thriving school district now more than ever. So let's thank them as well and give them a round of applause if we can. We are just so excited to announce that Dr. Morgan has accepted our offer to join CMSD as the district's next CEO. And there's a lot I could talk about in terms of Dr. Morgan's success to date that made him the right leader to lead our district currently in the future. The first thing that stuck out to me was his long track record of success. From his time being a network leader here at CMSD, to his time serving as a White House Fellow in Washington, D.C., to his time now as a Broad Fellow at Yale. Dr. Morgan is the kind of leader that I know our children will look up to for the future. The other thing that speaks to Dr. Morgan's leadership is the work that he's done as the Chief Academic Officer in Indianapolis. Through his leadership, that district has served as #1 in the state over the last 3 years in terms of its growth in English and math and statewide assessment. So he has proven that he can truly move the needle in terms of academic achievement for our students all across the district. But there was one thing that stuck out to me the most when I was reviewing the interview process for the next CEO of CMSD. It was Dr. Morgan's empathy and this unwavering ability to listen to our students about what they need. And with all the challenges our students are going through right now, it's that kind of empathetic, emotional, driven leadership we need to take our district to the next level and build on the amazing work we've seen under CEO Eric Gordon as well. So again, we're excited about the work ahead. I look forward to rolling up my sleeves with Dr. Morgan to continue this hard work, and I believe that everybody in this city should be proud of the next CEO of CMSD, Dr. Warren Morgan. And now I have the distinct pleasure to introduce Ms. Hobbs, a parent who will talk about her participation in this process and what Dr. Morgan will bring to CMSD. Ms. Hobbs.
Well, hello everyone, and thanks for being here. To rise and shine, CMSD scholars, parents, families, teachers, staff, community members, union, board, stakeholders, and constituents alike. A new dawn is upon us. On this day of May 9, 2023, we have finally reached a decision to select Dr. Morgan as our next superintendent and CEO of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. Greetings to our wonderful school board and Mayor Justin Bibb. On behalf of all parents and caregivers, I would like to take a moment to express our sincere gratitude for your commitment to the CEO search process, which was built on the active engagement of the school community. Your dedication and hard work throughout this process have been truly remarkable and have demonstrated your commitment to finding the best candidate to lead our schools into the future. Your dedication to involving the school community in this critical decision-making process is commendable, and it speaks volumes about your commitment to transparency, accountability, and excellence. Out of the many choices of schools throughout Northeast Ohio, it was important to our family that we chose a school that would nurture not only our child's proficiency, but their intellect, their creativity, and passion to grow. Believing in public schools, we chose the prestigious Cleveland School of the Arts. A school that takes not only learning seriously, but the nurturing of the minds. A school that promotes and focuses on what makes each scholar stand out individually and artistically. A school where young people from neighborhoods across Northeast Ohio come to a place where they feel they belong. Why do we choose CMSD as parents? Because we are CMSD, and we believe in ourselves and the collective power of the future of our scholars and our community. I have to take my hat off to you, Dr. Morgan, because I don't think I would survive a 10-panel interview. It's hard enough to get through one. From the moment Dr. Morgan spoke, his heartfelt dedication to learning and providing an inclusive environment for change was evident. The first was his warm, welcoming nature, very approachable. He came prepared and is a great standard for what represents most of our families here in the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. After our panel interview was complete, I thought, boy, he sure is a tough act to follow. And once we concluded all of the interviews, I felt in my heart that our parents were rooting for him as the next CEO. As CMSD parents, we lend our support. We offer you encouragement and grace. We ask that you protect our scholars and that you make us feel valued and a part of the decision-making process that impacts our children, and we'll try to be patient. Dr. Morgan, we ask that you supersede the great work that our current CEO, Eric Gordon, has done, but most of all, we wish that you hit the ground running. In our pursuit of a more fair, just, and good system of education, Dr. Morgan, we want for each of our learners, each of our scholars, and each of their educators to be individually and collectively presented with academically complex tasks that are worthy of their productive struggle and allow authentic opportunities to demonstrate their work and learning of academic content and transferable skills into a joyful and adventurous environment. As we give scholars more control over their learning, our vision is competency-based education, which focuses on mastery of standards. Schools without walls, flexible use of time, place, technology, and talent for anywhere, anytime learning. Whole human learning, incorporating student and educator social, emotional, and cultural wellness. Personal learner pathways, equitable student-centered career development. And may I add just one more? Continuity and candor with our families, making our families and parents and caregivers and a community as a whole feel valued in the learning process of our scholars, working together as a community for shared outcome of excellence. Furthermore, the transparency and inclusivity throughout the search process has been greatly appreciated. The efforts to involve parents, teachers, staff, students in the process have helped to create a sense of ownership and investment in the outcome and have ensured that the decision reflects the values and priorities of the entire community. We are excited to have such a talented and experienced leader join our team and look forward to working together to achieve our shared vision for the schools. We are confident under Dr. Morgan's leadership, we will strive to provide an exceptional education for our students, change the narrative, and remain a model of hope and excellence in our community. On behalf of the caregivers and the community, we would like to extend a warm welcome to the new CEO, Dr. Morgan. Congratulations, and welcome back to the CMSD family. And now I'll pass it up to our student speaker, Meyer.
Hi, my name is Mayar Abdul Hadi, and I am a student of Cleveland School of Science and Medicine. I've been in CMSD for about 7 years, and yeah, I'm going to talk today. So the reason I'm so passionate and involved in this whole CEO process, I'm sorry, I'm smiling at my mom. The reason I'm very passionate and involved about this whole CEO process was because I feel like CMSD has really aided me when I first came to America, because I'm not born here. I am born in Egypt, but I came here because my dad was offered a job. And it just basically, well, I came into the CMSD district as a first grader, and obviously I didn't know any English, any math, any of that. Well, I do know math, but like not in the language that I was supposed to be known in. And so CMSD offered me a lot of aid and tutoring and teachers, and I would like to thank all of those teachers that helped me and put up with me, because I was really tough. And I also like to thank my mom for also helping me. And I'd like to thank basically the board and everybody here that gave me such a big opportunity to speak here, because I'm blessed. And next, I would like to talk about Dr. Morgan. Congratulations. And I believe that he really does deserve this, because not only did he come in with such a welcoming energy, but it felt like he was actually there to listen and just listen to what all the students and teachers and panelists had to say. He came in with a 100-day plan, and I felt like that was such an amazing move and step, because he didn't know if he was going to get elected or not, but he still took the risk and chose to speak about what he had planned for CMSD, and it was such an amazing plan, and I believe that that just really took him a step further. I also loved how he asked us for any information that we wanted to ask him or anything, and that was really good. And also, last thing, when somebody comes in, it just felt really nice to have him shake our hands and sit down and feel like we're welcomed. And I hope that in the future we get many more opportunities in CMSD for students who are struggling with English, which we already do. And yeah, but I feel like he just really is going to be a really good CEO. And I hope in the future that we all just become a very good district, because I feel like we deserve it. And we've done such a great amount of work. And yeah, and I would like to thank everybody here. Sorry, I would like to give the mic to Elianis, a student speaker.
Hello, my name is Eliani Soto. I am from John Marshall School of Information and Technology, and I just want to thank everybody for this awesome opportunity. And yeah, so the first thing that I noticed when Dr. Morgan walked into the room, I was like, he seems nice. He was very approachable, and like Mayar said, he took the time to shake each and every student's hand. He didn't have to do that, but the way he did that made us feel like we were on equal grounds. He wasn't better than anybody, and we weren't better than everybody. It was students and somebody that wanted to help the students be better students. And you could feel that in the room. He was very charismatic. He came in with a smile. He had the energy, and it was very contagious. And he was prepared. Like, when I tell you I looked away, and then the next second he just had the fattest book of like plans, facts. Like, he's like, here's what we're gonna do in the first 100 days. And I was like, okay, confidence. Like he knew what he wanted, and that was very admirable. And that for me made him the top choice for the CEO. And the reason I was so invested in the CEO search is my time as a CMSD scholar is like almost over, because I'm a sophomore and I'm about to like move on into like the next chapter and all that. But I have a younger sister, and she's also a CMSD scholar. So what I want before I leave is to make sure that not just my sister, but all the other younger generations to come, to have a good CEO that they can rely on, so they know that their school district is a district that they could count on. It's not, okay, that's the CEO, he's just here for the money. No, that's our CEO. He's here to make us better students, to make our schools a better place. And I just hope that with Dr. Morgan being the new CEO, we keep that strong sense of familiarity we have as a CMSD community. And I just hope we just become more united and more familiar with each other. And yeah, that's all. Thank you for the time.
Well, good morning. I think I'm the only person this mic is the right height for. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I want to just also bring some brief remarks. First of all, an incredible thank you to the Cleveland Board of Education, who have been my bosses for the last 12 years and who have done an exemplary job over the last 8 months making sure we got to this point today. So if we could thank again the Board of Education. Certainly also we need to thank Mayor Bibb and his team for supporting the board through the process and getting to this point. We have our Civics 2.0 students here watching democracy in action, watching our appointed board in concurrence, Mayor Bibb in concurrence with our appointed board naming our next CEO. So thank you also, Mayor Bibb, and to your team. And let's welcome our Civics 2.0 students that are here today. I am personally really excited to welcome Dr. Morgan home. I actually hired Dr. Morgan into CMSD in 2014. So I've often teased people when they don't like a decision I make that they should blame the people that hired me, because I didn't hire me. I actually did hire him. But what should be a signal of my personal confidence in somebody that I intentionally brought to Cleveland earlier in his career. I've also had the extreme pleasure of staying in touch with Dr. Morgan as a colleague and as a friend as his career has advanced. First, when he got the great opportunity to be a fellow at the White House, and also, I think, smartly traversed political lines and worked in both a Democrat and Republican administration and didn't make it a political appointment. And then, even most recently, in his work in Indianapolis. In September, before I get there, I guess, what I would say about Dr. Morgan, what I would want you to know is he has the talent to do this job. And I know what this job is. He has the talent to do this job. He also has the professional humility to understand that this is not an easy job and that he's not just going to return with simple solutions to complex challenges that face our young people, our caregivers, our educators. And that, to me, is the right combination to be a successful, thriving next CEO. In September, when I gave my State of the Schools address, I shared why now, this school year, was the right time for this transition. Like Indianapolis, we have made significant gains in our academic achievement. And even last year on our report card, had the 12th highest gain growth scores in Ohio, and were the top-rated urban in both growth and gap closing among Ohio's urban 8 coalition schools. So we have taken what was at one point the lowest performing district in Ohio, and we've got it moving. And Dr. Morgan will be able to accelerate that. And handing off, I use the metaphor of a baton, handing off the baton at the right time and the right way is so important. You don't hand off, if you can avoid it, when things are in real trouble. You hand off when things are strong and can be built upon. And so having an academic leader return to continue the academic work is super important. We're also financially and organizationally healthy. Now that, you know, with school finance and the legislature and all that going on, we have to continue to be frugal and fiscally, conscious. But right now is a moment of organizational health, financial health, a stable organization. And that too is important for the time to hand off the baton. And then finally, the public trust that you heard from our students, from Ms. Hobbs, who took my speech, so I'm winging it now, thank you, who did a great job of outlining who we are and who we want to be and the important role that we play as a trusted organization for her children and for our young people, for my kids. That is why this is the right time. When you all left, if you were at State of the Schools, you got this gift bag, and in it was the baton, along with some other stuff, including my wonderfully well-written speech. And on that baton, I quoted at the time President Barack Obama, who said, "There is the sense sometimes in any position of leadership that you may by yourself do certain things and then it's over." I always viewed it as taking the baton from a whole range of people who have come before. And so, Dr. Morgan, I knew this day would come where I would be handing this baton to somebody. And so if you would come forward, it is my pleasure to officially pass the baton.
Man, I'm just so humbled, and this is amazing. I'm a runner. Actually, I was running this morning up and down Superior, and so this is very apropos. And Eric, you always gave at your State of the Schools address the amazing gifts. I still have the rock when you're climbing up the mountain, so this is right up there. Wow, man, Cleveland. It feels great to be home. It just feels really, really great to be home. And words can't describe how excited I am for this opportunity. I'm extremely humbled, honored, but above all, just extremely grateful. And just hearing the remarks of our students, our parents, we're gonna definitely have to meet. You laid out like a plan, so you guys mentioned that 100-day plan. I was like, okay, I need to take notes, personalized learning, conscious learning. Oh, yeah, a lot of great different things. I was taking the notes, so. But no, just really grateful, and grateful to build upon the legacy that you, the foundation you laid, CEO Eric Gordon. As Eric mentioned, he hired me into this district nearly a decade ago, and gave me a chance. This was my first central office role. And I learned so much from him as a mentor, and then also just learned so much from this great community in the very early days of the Cleveland Plan. And so I am thrilled to be your successor. I also want to express my extreme gratitude to Mayor Justin Bibb, to Cleveland's Chief Education Officer Holly Trefiro, and Cleveland's Chief of Youth and Family Success, Sonia Pryor-Jones. Mayor Bibb is a bold and visionary leader and has a plan to take the city of Cleveland to the next level. And I look forward to partnering with you to ensure that our scholars of Cleveland Metropolitan School District have an excellent and equitable education. And I also look forward to working with you to make sure that we achieve greater heights in the Cleveland Plan. So just really excited to do this work. To CMSD Board Chair Ann Bingham and the entire Board of Education, thank you for trusting me with this incredible task. I know it is a lot of work ahead of us, but I'm ready and I'm so excited. And due to your strong leadership and the foundation that you've laid and all the leaders in this room, there's a strong foundation to build on, as was spoken here. And so I know our community is counting on us, and so I look forward to our collaborative leadership and working together. Finally, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge my personal rocks, who I am so blessed to have here with me today. My family, my dad, Warren Sr., my mom, Rosemary, and my sisters, April and Autumn. And I also am just so grateful to share this day with Autumn, well, my little sister, because today is her birthday. And when I found out that I would be announced on this day, I said, I will never forget this day. One thing we do, I mentioned this even in my video, because I do this with my team, we celebrate. And so not only is this a day of celebration with this announcement, we celebrate you, Autumn. So I'm just blessed to share this day with you. And then also, I just want to thank you guys for your continued prayers, your encouragement, your wisdom. You guys just give me so much guidance, and thank you. Before I finish, I just want to share a little bit about why I do this work. Growing up, my family provided a very firm foundation for us as kids. But at the end of my junior year of high school, I experienced a house fire. We did, and we lost everything. I spent my entire senior year of high school in a hotel. We were essentially homeless. Our family's financial situation changed, and we struggled. Fast forward to the next fall when I attended college, I went to an excellent university, but it was the first time I felt like an other. There were not many students that looked like me. In fact, I was one of the only black males in my graduating class. I was called out of my name multiple times. I was told I did not belong. One professor told me I had no substance. And for the first time in my academic career, I struggled with school. But despite the discrimination of some people on campus, I was provided an excellent education. There were programs that gave me a sense of belonging, and there were some staff and professors on campus that believed in me. And only by the grace of God, that same campus that did not accept me when I first came on campus elected me student body president and homecoming king my senior year. There are some kids here in Cleveland that feel a sense of connection and belonging at school. But I know there are far too many kids, like I was, who are facing personal challenges at home and feel ostracized at school. And if we do not provide a high-quality education and ensure that our students feel safe, seen, heard, and valued, we will lose them, and they will not be successful. I do this work for kids like me. Because if it weren't for adults who believed in me and programs that made me feel connected to school, I wouldn't be standing in front of you today, and I don't know where I would be. So Cleveland students, teachers, leaders, staff, parents, and communities, I'm back home. And I cannot wait to do this work with you to ensure our scholars and CMSD always win, 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 no matter what. So buckle up. We have a lot of work to do. Thank you so much.
This concludes the Board of Education's news conference. Media are welcome to stay for a brief press gaggle with Dr. Morgan before he departs. Press packets have been assembled for you. If you didn't get one, they're on the counter there in the blue folders. The gaggle will begin after the board, the mayor, and the audience exits. Thank you. And media, Dr. Morgan will be